Downtown bounce, downtown, TR bounce, 79 bounce, outside bounce, north side bounce, over east bounce, 290 bounce, downtown bounce, downtown.
Get back to where it started, as long as I'm with you, babe.
It's so funny working with camera gear because sometimes you have like pieces like this that are super tiny and easy to lose, but are so important. And the reason for that is because this goes on top of like a tripod. I'll show you better.
For example, I could just spin the camera onto this.
For example, let's say I wanted to put my camera on here. I could, it fits onto the back of the camera, so I'll just keep spinning and spinning and spinning. Or I could mount a plate onto the camera one time. Instead of always having to spin it onto this pole, I could just put it, see, and this has this thing to spin it on, so it's much easier. And then I add the ball head. And so then I would clip the camera onto the ball head. Super quick, super easy, it goes on. Boom, I'm ready to shoot instead of spinning it on. However, I have to attach this back part to it, but this back part doesn't fit on here unless you have this tiny piece. So that was my rant for today. I feel like this is one of like the smallest pieces of gear I have. It's so important. I tend to use a lot of these mics a lot, and they're like lav mics, but they could also be a Zoom mic. So I have 3 of these, so I could lav 2 people up, even 3 people up if I wanted to. So I tend to use these a lot when I do use them. So the batteries die a lot, but if you have this rechargeable case, you can buy a ton, and while you're using them, you can also be recharging them. It's pretty sweet. I thought it was pretty cool. The only real problem is keeping track of all these batteries. And what's cool about it too is it also has a little like display right here that tells you how much each one is charged. I'm supposed to have 8 AAAs at least, but now I gotta find them. Boom. 1 found already. Hells yeah. It's always cool like finding gear again, like you lose it because it's in here. So like I guess that's my excuse for having this being a mess. You get to re-find gear and it's exciting. You know what they say, if you only find one, be grateful you found any at all. But the reason why I'm looking so frantically for these double A's is because I want to restart my podcast again, and I want to do it in a really interesting way. And so I needed that Zoom mic, and so I needed batteries. But I found some batteries that aren't rechargeable, but they are AAA. Who is it? Thank you. Alright, so this is where I want to record my podcasts. I want to do a combination of like meditation and podcasting. And so I was like, you know what, let me set up the yoga mat, try to figure out if I could possibly even set up some rainforest sounds that I can listen to while I also record. I like hearing my voice back, so that's going to be tough, but I think I have an idea. Alright, EC's going to have to come off. Alright, so the idea is to also then set up my AirPods in at the same time, and hopefully with these headphones they would fit nicely, and I could also listen to my own feedback. Alright, so now let's boot this up, set a stopwatch, and let's hit record. Testing. Hey, it's me, Chimpino, with another podcast. Today I am sitting in my office with some headphones in, and the headphones are also not only listening to my feedback for this audio, but also listening to some rainforest sounds. I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to also let you guys join in. So let's go ahead and activate those rainforest sounds for you guys as well. Oh, nice. Hopefully I can't get copyrighted for rainforest sounds. But the reason I wanted to do this is because obviously I wanted to make podcasts again, but I think right now is a perfect time because we are in pandemic town. Pandemic town. Yes, I am talking about New York City. If you're not in New York City, that's fine. I mean, we're all in quarantine season. So, feel free to stop on in and, join me in this meditation / podcast session. I try to be really positive about it. I feel like when I think back on this, me personally, I'm very impressed by the whole fact that, I feel like this is the first time that people, are going, like, people all over the world are going through something at the same time. And I think that's so cool. Isn't that cool? I feel like, we're all humans and we should all unite as under one country. That'd be dope. Different representatives, obviously, but I think, we're all just one and we should all just help each other all the time. But, the different languages, the different looks, people tend to create these labels to basically divide each other up and say, hey, he's different from me because of this and that, just because I don't understand him, just because he looks different. But now we're all going through the same thing, regardless of your age, regardless of your, the color of your skin, regardless of what language you speak, regardless of, what temperature it is in your country. Like, we're all dealing with this COVID thing. And I think it's super interesting. I think it's very eye-opening. Like, it just goes to show you that, at the end of the day, viruses don't give a fuck about politics, and they don't give a fuck about, location. And I think we all need to, look at this as a lesson learned and really just be like, hey, we're in this together. Usually we're not, obviously, wars and stuff like that, but we're in this together. We should help each other all the time. That's just how I feel. And I think it's interesting because this whole pandemic thing was like what happened to make me think that way. Woo! I think one of the reasons why I never liked meditating is because it's just so weird to think thinking. But I think speaking out loud and meditating is what's going to work for me, and that's why I really wanted to do this. Link in the bio if you guys want to listen to the whole thing. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys drop a like. And if you enjoyed the podcast snippet, make sure you guys watch the full thing. Show some love on that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.